So when I think of powering up our skills, I think of it on a level of, I like the term power up because it also brings to mind even video games and how we can purposefully increase our skill to get to the next level. And I know in my studio, my young learners really like getting to the next level, and they really like that feeling of, you know, increasing their abilities and getting to that next step. So that power up term is purposeful. And in my language as a teacher, I try to use a lot of that kind of language. Look at what you're able to do. Look at this next skill that you've now achieved. Wow, you can now play all your major and minor triads, whatever that is. So there's that concept of we've powered up our skills. So our warm-up time is rich with ideas. So we think about our technical abilities, right? When we do our warm-ups, we're really building habits. As a teacher, I'm thinking, okay, I've got to establish these habits very strong in the young pianist so that they just become foundational to what that young pianist can do. We build that healthy approach at the instrument. And then the student also feels, okay, I can play it. I know these skills. I understand these skills. There's also the listening and ear component. So our technique is going to serve the sound, right? So whenever we're playing with that healthy approach, we're also going to be listening for that good sound. There's also the ear skill component in the sense of ear training, right? If we're playing and being purposeful with our warm-up and our technical skills that we do with our students, they're going to be hearing their intervals, they're going to be hearing their triads, their scale formation. So they're really going to be developing those ear skills if we do that purposefully. And then there's also the theory component, the know-it side. So I understand how to build a five-finger pattern. I can understand how to build a triad. I can understand what major and minor is, right? So there's a lot of potential with warm-ups and easy technical drills to really expand the pianist in very meaningful ways. So I have here on the next slide, the 6 large categories of skills that I have in my mind as a teacher. And I want to thank some of my pedagogy mentors at this point too. My work with Dr. Jane McGraw, Mr. Marvin Blickenstaff, my time at the New School for Music Study, all of these activities helped me to kind of really form this into a curriculum that I really use with my students in these early years. And so the 6 categories of technique that I consider are five-finger patterns, intervals and triads, progressions. Progressions to me is when we talk about something like 1-5-1 or 1-4-5-1. So where we're putting those triads in a sequence, in a meaningful sequence. Scales, of course, pianists love their scales. I don't need to mention that. Arpeggios, and then new techniques. And new techniques is kind of a potpourri category where I put a lot of different things that we're learning that largely prepare for repertoire.